Nikola Jokić just pulled off something so ridiculous it doesn't even sound real, and the silence around it is the craziest part. Last night, Jokic did something only one player in NBA history had ever done before. Not LeBron, not Jordan, not Kareem, Wilt Chamberlain. And instead of stopping there, Jokic pushed the line even further. He now owns the all-time record for the most 30-point triple-doubles on 70% shooting or better. Read that again. That's not efficiency. That's perfection under pressure. Most stars struggle to score 30 on a good night. Jokic does it while controlling every inch of the game, creating for everyone, and barely missing a shot. This isn't a hot streak. This is a pattern. Season after season, game after game, Jokic keeps bending basketball logic like it doesn't apply to him. The numbers don't make sense, the eye test doesn't explain it, and yet he keeps delivering it casually, almost quietly, like this is just another night at the office. Meanwhile, the respect still feels behind, the debates are still happening, the doubts still exist, but history doesn't argue. Once your name starts showing up next to Wilt Chamberlain, you're officially in myth territory. Wilt wasn't just great, he was a glitch in the system, a player so dominant the league had to rewrite rules around him. And now Jokic, in a completely different era, against faster, stronger, more skilled competition, is carving his own version of that legend. This isn't just greatness anymore. This is the kind of run people talk about decades later. And the scary part, Jokic isn't done yet.
People still debate whether Wilt Chamberlain's numbers were even real. There are legit internet conspiracies claiming his 100-point game in Hershey, Pennsylvania, the infamous 169-147 win over the Knicks, never actually happened. No full game footage, just box scores, photos, and myths. That's how absurd Wilt's dominance was. He plays so far above the league that people still question reality itself. And now, Nikola Jokic is standing right next to him. Same air, same conversation, leveling the field with one of the most untouchable legends the sport has ever seen. And somehow, the league is still asleep. Here's where it gets even crazier. Despite all of this, despite bending the game every single night, Jokic is only third in MVP odds right now. Third. Let that make sense. What more does he actually need to do? Score, pass, rebound, control the pace, break records, carry a franchise on his back? Because that's exactly what he's doing. Denver leans on him every night, even when the roster is literally falling apart. Just last game, Jamal Murray out, Aaron Gordon out, second night of a back-to-back, and the other team folds. Jokic, he didn't flinch. He went nuclear, dictating the game, bullying defenders with touch, vision, and patience, making elite basketball look unfairly easy. This isn't hype anymore. This is dominance hiding in plain sight. And when history looks back, the real question won't be if Jokic belonged in this conversation. It'll be why it took everyone so long to admit it.
Yeah, it was against an injured Pacers squad, but stop it. That doesn't erase greatness. That excuse gets tired real fast. Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon are legit when healthy, borderline all-star level this year. But here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Nikola Jokic has never played with a true all-star teammate in his entire 11-year career. Not one. Let that hit. 11 years. No safety net. No super team help. And he's out here breaking Wilt Chamberlain's records while his support cast can't stay on the floor. That's not just impressive, that's unheard of. And just in case you missed it, Jokic also passed Wilt for the most triple-doubles ever by a center. Another unbreakable record gone. Availability matters in this league. It always has. While other stars rest, manage minutes, or sit out, Jokic just keeps clocking in and cooking like a machine, night after night. No excuses, no drama, just dominance. This isn't a hot run. This is history being rewritten in real time, right in front of us. And here's the wildest stat of all. Jamal Murray hasn't played more than 60-something games in a season since 2018-2019. Read that again. It's now 2025-2026, and he still can't break that wall. Jokic has been carrying this franchise through injuries, roster chaos, and playoff pressure the entire time. No complaints, no headlines, just production. At some point, pretending not to see this stops being debate and starts being denial.
That's the craziest part of all this. These guys just cannot stay healthy. Year after year, bodies breaking down, lineups changing, rotations falling apart, and yet Nikola Jokic keeps dragging Denver to 50-plus wins like clockwork. No excuses, no load management.
By the time the playoffs roll around, everyone else is limping, patched together with ice packs and prayers, and Jokic is still upright, holding the entire operation together with duct tape, vision, and straight-up wizardry. And let's be real, that's the real reason he doesn't already have multiple championships. Not because he lacks talent, not because he shrinks in big moments, but because when it actually matters most, his teammates can't stay on the floor. Simple as that. Honestly, it's borderline criminal that this man doesn't already have 5 MVP trophies collecting dust on his shelf. The disrespect is wild. Every single season, his stat lines look fake, like something pulled from a video game, and yet he's still sitting third in MVP odds. Third? That's insane. Vegas still has Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the favorite, and I gotta ask, are people actually watching what Jokic is doing? Because if you check the numbers, there's no debate. Every advanced metric, Jokic is on top. The only stat he hasn't completely taken over is PER, and even there, Giannis is barely hanging on. Through just 9 games, Jokic is on a completely different planet. Jokic, 2.68 win shares. Shai, 2.63, and he's played 2 more games. Giannis, way back at 2.01. So again, what more does Jokic have to do? Denver leads the league in scoring and sits second in opponent points allowed. That's dominance on both ends of the floor. And guess who's behind all of it? Nikola, freaking Jokic, casually dropping the smoothest triple-doubles you'll ever see, rebounding like it's nothing, controlling pace, space, and outcomes without breaking a sweat. Effortless, historic, generational, and somehow still not enough for people to give him his flowers.
Jokic is putting up straight-up video game numbers right now, and we're all just acting like it's normal. He's averaging 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists per game. Read that slowly. That's not a good stretch. That's an all-time season. And that's before you even talk about his latest monster performance, the one that officially broke the scale. 32 points, 14 rebounds, 14 assists on a ridiculous 71.5% shooting. 10 for 14 from the field. No wasted possessions, no forced shots, just pure efficiency. His true shooting is at 73%. That's not normal basketball. That's MVP insanity. That's the kind of production most stars will never touch in their entire careers. And Jokic, he makes it look like a casual Tuesday night. No chest pounding, no theatrics, just dominance wrapped in calm. So let me ask, what more do people actually want from this guy? A miracle? Because somehow, despite all of this, he's still not first in MVP odds, not even second. And that's where it starts to feel uncomfortable. It honestly feels like the media has just decided to look the other way. How does this even happen? The same voters who couldn't stop handing LeBron James MVPs 4 and 5 years straight, 2 of them while he had a full-blown super team in Miami, are suddenly silent now. LeBron didn't even have the best record one of those years and still walked away with the trophy like it was already written into the script. Meanwhile, Jokic is doing things the league has literally never seen before, and he's treated like background noise.
Last season, Nikola Jokic didn't just win, he broke the game. He averaged a 30-point triple-double, led the league in almost every advanced metric imaginable, and finished on top in win shares. The only reason he didn't lap the field was because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander barely edged him out in one category. Barely. So what did Jokic do this year? He came back like, cool, watch this. Now he's right back on top, leading the league again in win shares per 48, higher than Shai, and doing it while playing fewer games. That's not just efficiency, that's domination by every definition of the word. And yet somehow, he's still sitting third in MVP odds. Third, make it make sense. This man's out here breaking Wilt Chamberlain records, redefining what a center is even supposed to look like in modern basketball, and carrying Denver night after night like it's nothing. No super team, no safety net, just pure control of the game. And the media acting like he's invisible, not debated, not criticized, just ignored. That's not disrespect, that's historic level denial. So what's left? What does Jokic need to do next? Drop 100 points on live TV? Average a triple-double in his sleep? Because at this point, anything short of the impossible apparently isn't enough to get a fair vote. And that's the wildest part of this entire story. The Nuggets just rolled out a starting lineup of Cam Johnson, Peyton Watson, Christian Braun, and Jalen Pickett. Let's be honest, that's not a superstar lineup. That's not even close. And yet, they still won 117-100. Why? Because of Nikola Jokic. This is what being the ultimate floor raiser looks like. Any lineup, any situation, injuries, inexperience, thin rotations, it don't matter. Jokic grabs whatever pieces you give him and drags them straight to a win. There is nobody in today's league who does what he does. Nobody. He's the most valuable player in basketball. No debate. And somehow, the world still refuses to give him his flowers. It makes zero sense, especially when you compare it to last year's MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The numbers tell the real story, not the narratives. Right now, writers seem locked in on pushing Shai, Giannis, or Luka this season. Maybe they'll even toss Victor Wembanyama into the conversation for headlines. But once you actually look at the data, it's laughable. Last season, one of Shai's biggest MVP arguments was plus-minus. He led the league, with Jokic right behind him at number 2. But context matters, and this is where the conversation gets real. Shai was playing on one of the deepest, most stacked rosters we've seen in years, arguably the best-built team since the direct Curry Warriors. Jokic, meanwhile, was carrying lineups held together with tape and hope, and still finishing right there with them. That's the difference. That's value. Strip away the hype, the media push, and the shiny narratives, and what you're left with is simple truth. Jokic doesn't just elevate stars, he turns role players into winners. And until people start judging MVP the way it's supposed to be judged, we're gonna keep watching one of the greatest peaks in NBA history get overlooked in real time.
Meanwhile, Jokic was carrying a half-broken roster and still finished right on his heels. That's not luck, that's not timing, that's greatness. Fast forward to this season, and Jokic didn't just respond, he flipped the entire script. Despite playing one fewer game than Shai, he now leads the entire NBA in plus-minus, sitting more than 50 points clear of everyone else. And people still want to pretend this isn't MVP-level dominance? This isn't opinion anymore. This is domination in every stat that actually matters. And yet somehow, Vegas still has Jokic sitting way back in third in MVP odds. Third! That's not basketball logic, that's media politics. Some voters clearly can't handle the idea of Jokic stepping into the league's true elite tier, the club reserved for players with 4 or more MVPs. Because if Jokic wins a 4th, he joins a list so exclusive it almost feels illegal to even say out loud. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. That's it. That's the entire list. Right now, Jokic is sitting alongside Larry Bird and Magic Johnson with 3 MVPs each. One more, just one, and he officially breaks into that sacred inner circle. That's not hype, that's history-level greatness. And yet the same writers who hype everyone else non-stop suddenly go silent when it's time to give Jokic what he's earned. It's like people are scared to admit the obvious, that Nikola Jokic might already be an all-time great. Every season he gets better. Every season, he breaks records we didn't even know existed. And every season, the noise gets louder, the goalposts move, and the excuses multiply. Last year looked impossible to top, and somehow he's doing exactly that right now. Jokic is redefining dominance in real time, while people act like it's normal. It's not. This is a once-in-a-generation player putting up numbers we may never see again, and we're watching it happen live. So yeah, lock in. What Jokic is doing right now isn't just another MVP season. This is a full-blown takeover happening in real time. When the dust settles, people won't just call him great. They'll be forced to say one of the greatest ever, whether they're ready or not. History is being written right in front of us, and too many people are still scrolling past it. But now, I want to hear from you. Is Jokic actually getting the respect he deserves right now? Or is this another case where the truth won't be acknowledged until years later, when it's already too late? Drop your take in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And if you're rocking with these deep dive breakdowns, smash that like button and hit subscribe. It genuinely keeps the channel alive and lets me keep bringing you this level of heat.